Hey, puppy people, Jude the Puppy Nanny here. For a change of pace this month, for this month's newsletter, I decided that I would do a recording. Change of pace, maybe better, maybe not, but just change of pace. And I am today going to shamelessly promote my book, Jude the Puppy Nanny's Guide to Training Your Puppy. It's available on my website, and if you Google judethepuppynanny.com, all you have to do is click on the book tab and you'll be able to purchase it, and I'll pop it in the mail to you. For anyone who has just gotten a new puppy, this book provides the most incredible information in easy to follow steps. And if you know someone who's getting a puppy soon, this makes a great gift. If you have an older dog or you've just adopted a dog from a shelter or the SPCA, it may not be a puppy, but you know, it takes longer to train an older dog, but the techniques, the positive lure reward training techniques don't change no matter how old your dog is. So this is a very good addition to anybody's puppy training library, dog knowledge library, and it sells for $14.99. So that's my shameless plug for my book today. And in every newsletter, I always give you a puppy training tip. And the one I'm going to talk about today is chew toys. I am the biggest proponent of chew toys. Well, after Ian Dunbar, and that's where I got it. Because, you know, puppies chew. It's just what they do. And if we don't provide them something that's okay for them to chew on, they will chew on chair legs, slippers, shoes, anything that is within their reach. And they're not doing anything wrong. We just haven't provided them with the things that are acceptable to chew. So I always strongly urge people to go and get 3 or 4 stuffable chew toys. The Kong makes the Kong and a bunch of others, one of which is a ridged rubber tube which you can stuff with kibble, and you can smear cream cheese in the ridges on the outside, and it truly keeps them busy for a while. Premier Pet Toys makes Busybody, which is a squirrel. No, Busybody is one, and then Squirrel Dude is another. And I do love Squirrel Dude because he has adjustable little tabs inside where you can cut them to allow the kibble to fall out, but not to fall out too easily. So if you have 3 or 4 of those, and bones, real bones, that start off with marrow in them, but when they're empty, don't throw them away. Stuff them with a mixture of kibble mixed with, I always say cream cheese because not all puppies or dogs like peanut butter. And if you have a few of those around, you can put a couple in the freezer. And then when it's time for you to have your puppy settle down, whether it be on a mat or in the back of the car or in his crate, if you throw in a couple of those stuffed chew toys ready for him, or the bone, it'll keep him happy and keep him busy, and it will get him hooked on chew toys. And that's what we're aiming for, is getting your puppy hooked on chew toys. As a puppy nanny, many of you know that I come to people's homes when they first get their puppy, and I coach them in how to train their puppy in some basic good manners. And that includes things like, well, we get potty training underway first, and crate training, because I think it's so important. And if there are children involved, then the very next thing that I teach is to train your puppy to leave it. And I use the word off because off covers everything. Don't pick up that thing, get off the person, get off the couch, the bed, just leave it alone, and one word covers everything. And so that's one thing I do. The other thing I do is on Sunday mornings, where I live, which is on the Sunshine Coast, British Columbia, I offer an off-leash puppy playtime for puppies anywhere from 8 weeks. And if they start young, then they can stay indefinitely. But if they are newcomers, then they must either be between 8 and 12 weeks, or in the older group, they have to be 16 weeks to jump in. And we have off-leash play, which is supervised and safe. And we also, in the older group, we play some puppy games, which are not only calming, but they help to reinforce the training that you're doing at home. If you need help my help with your puppy and you don't live on the Sunshine Coast, then we can set it up and do a Skype training, which will work quite well as well. Um, I also house sit here on the coast for anybody that doesn't already know that, which means that if you're going away on move into your home and look after your pussy cat or your puppy dogs or your old dogs or your whatever it is you have, um, that keeps me plenty busy. One of the things that has serendipitously evolved out of the house sitting is spouse walking. It's a new service, and it came about as I was booked to house sit, and then the spouse had a heart attack and they couldn't travel. So, in an effort to assist them and they me, I agreed that I would walk the dogs a couple of times a day instead of house sitting. And as that wore on, I'd said to the spouse who'd had the heart attack, "So have you been able to walk at all?" "No," he said. My wife doesn't want me to go out with the dogs by myself. And I said, "Well, you're welcome to come with us." And he did. And so I continued the that particular gig by walking the dogs and the husband. So and I've since done it again. So I'm saying if you or your spouse have dogs to walk and one of you has some medical condition that the other doesn't think you should be out by yourself, then I'm happy to walk your dogs and have you accompany us. For those of you who don't want a house sitter, this is just I guess this is again a little plug, this one for my daughter and the dog house. She has an in-home boarding, I'm going to say kennel, but it isn't. In other words, she takes dogs into her home, and mine too when I live there, uh, and looks after them either on a daily basis or on an overnight basis, or for as long as you're gone on vacation. And there are no crates and kennels. The dogs have free run of the house, again in a fenced area for them to play, and of course there are kids on the property, and that's I always think it's a bonus. So if you're looking for dog daycare or boarding, do give Heidi a call at the dog house, and the number is 604-886-1773. Um, on the note of passing on useful information, I noticed recently that Jane Bowers of Dogs of Distinction is offering new classes, again beginning probably right about now. I know it said in November. So if your puppy is ready for classes, and I do recommend puppies take classes. It's wonderful for their socialization. It's good for their training. Uh, it's good for you too. It's supportive for you. Then do check out dogsofdistinction.com and see what Jane is offering. I can't recommend her more highly than I do. So that is my newsletter for November, folks. And please, if you're planning on getting a puppy come into your home at Christmas, please don't, unless you have the kind of household that's done lots of preparatory work, and it will be reasonably calm, because I always suggest to people that if they're going to thinking about getting a puppy now, like at Christmas time, if you can possibly do one of two things: get it the end of this month, November, or wait until January, so that you don't have a new puppy added to the chaos that always surrounds the holiday season. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to the puppy. So if you're the puppy coming into your life and you can, and it's a surprise, for example, for your children, you can always at Christmas time give them all of the things that would relate to a puppy so they'd know it was coming, like a bowl and a collar and a leash and a bed and a crate, and of course, oops, a daisy, and a copy of the Puppy Nanny's Guide to Training Your Puppy. So I think everyone's life is enhanced by having a puppy, but that's how I got to be the puppy nanny, because I love puppies. So that's it for this time. Ruff!